The internet is ablaze. The controversy is causing the timelines to collapse, and the largest betrayal in hip-hop and romantic history has officially taken place in Harlem. Mama Jones and Jim Jones are being hauled around like never before. Previously, fans are losing their temper. In the midst of the storm, the hashtags remain unrelenting. Chrissy Lampkin has emerged from the ashes like a phoenix, standing up with a strength that even her most critical detractors were blind to. Approaching, one video was the start of it all. At 2:00 a.m., one shaky clip leaked. Displaying Jim yelling at a hotel lobby as Chrissy was being insulted by Mama Jones. In a matter of minutes, the video went viral. Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok, causing a digital earthquake that revealed years of secrets no one was meant to know. Supporters did more than observe. They analyzed every move, every phrase, and every frame. Additionally, what they uncovered was more sinister than anyone had thought. Insiders speaking in back channels, leaked messages, and hidden recordings all pointed to a startling truth. It wasn't just Chrissy that Jim and Mama Jones were sabotaging. Allegedly, they were scheming behind her back, using her family as a weapon and profiting from her suffering. Nevertheless, Chrissy refused to give in while everyone else waited for her to fail. She remained intact. She didn't fold. She got to her feet. The turmoil turned into her crown at that very instant. Here's the twist though, the invoices. According to rumors, Chrissy is even more repulsive than what has previously been revealed. If they fall, everything is different. The initial disclosure exploded on social media like a grenade before the clock had even reached midnight. On Twitter, a grainy, poorly lit video surfaced. Jim Jones' veins bursting in his neck, he stood in a hotel lobby shouting at Chrissy as Mama Jones swore at him loudly enough to reverberate through the marble walls. Even though the tape was only 20 seconds long, it was enough to start a chain reaction. By 3 in the morning, more than 3 million people had viewed it. The hashtags were trending by dawn. Standalone Chrissy fans analyzed each moment of the video, exposing Mama Jones and setting the tone for the day. Hashtag dragged Jim Jones footage that looked like it was from the Zapruder movie, where you could actually see Jim ball his fist when Chrissy stepped forward. One fan slowed down the video and claimed to have heard Mama Jones mutter, "We should have buried this long ago," under her breath. That one line became the conspiracy, the morning's theory. Specifically, what were they attempting to bury? The second leak then appeared. SoundCloud received audio posted by an anonymous user. A rough, clipped recording that resembled it was taken verbatim from a phone conversation. "She ain't family. She ain't never going to be family." The voice, which was unmistakably Mama Jones, was heard chuckling. "Jim knows where his loyalty lies." Jim agreed and followed in a muted voice. "All Chrissy has to do is do her part. Unless we give it to her, she has no power." The internet went crazy. Twitter was flooded with screenshots of the audio waveforms. Admira said that while Mama Jones deliberately harmed Chrissy, Jim had been emotionally controlling her for years. Think pieces with titles like "The Jones Family" and "Chrissy was right all along" appeared on TikTok within an hour, exposing gaslighting. Chrissy didn't say anything until she did. 11:00 a.m. She uploaded a picture to Instagram. Only a picture of herself wearing a stylish black dress, chin up, eyes breaking through the camera. It was an obvious message: untouchable, unbroken, and unbothered. Her comments were inundated by fans. "You made it through 20 years of this bullshit, sis. Additionally, you don't have to. We've got you." However, the quiet was broken by insiders with a new device about an hour later. A screenshot of group chats involving Jim, Mama Jones, and a VH1 executive was purportedly released by a love and hip-hop producer. Jim complained about that in the texts. "The plots of Chrissy's stories always make me appear weak." Additionally, Mama Jones suggests that perhaps it's time for the network to recognize her genuine self with a sobering response. The executive said, "Drama sells, but fans go crazy. Remember, family unity sells better." Jim and Mama Jones were conspiring with producers to discredit Chrissy on national television if the texts were authentic, and there was no way to tell for sure. All at once, those degrading plot lines from previous seasons appeared to be intentional sabotage rather than accidents. Chrissy, on the other hand, played her hand expertly. She waited until the evening to go public on Instagram rather than making a snap decision to affirm or deny. sitting in her living room, speak in a quiet but forceful tone. "They thought I would break," she said to her fans. "They assumed I would crawl. Let me tell you something though. All my life, I have stood tall. Additionally, this is only the beginning if you believe it to be the end." Despite being brief, less than 10 minutes, the live had the force of a nuclear explosion. Her comments were taken by fans, who then remixed them into TikTok noises and used them to make montages. Strong letters emblazoned across them, "Rising Tall." Chrissy had used her suffering as motivation. Mama Jones retaliated at that point. Mama Jones also went live within minutes of Chrissy's pacing back and forth in her. She waved her arms in the kitchen. "She is a clown, not a queen. My son has been dragged down for years because of her," Mama shouted into the camera. "He would be married, free, and thriving if it weren't for her." Was for Chrissy holding him captive in that phony relationship. She slapped her hand against a counter, causing a glass vase to rattle. However, followers quickly noticed something on the fridge behind Mama Jones, who was unaware that her live was screen captured. A sheet of paper with what appeared to be letterhead from a lawyer. In a matter of hours, fan investigators swooped down, enlarged the hazy writing, and asserted that it was a debt collection notice connected to Jim. "They are yelling about Chrissy, keeping him back." One fan's tweet, "But look who really can't pay their bills," received 200,000 likes. The dragging only got more intense. Jim attempted to upload a video of himself rapping on loyalty and treachery while in the studio, but clown emojis flooded the comments section from supporters. "I made her. She ain't nothing without me," was the line he spat, and it was clipped and repeated again as evidence of his conceit. Even celebrities began to weigh in by dusk. Michelle wrote on Twitter, "This is why I never trusted Jim. Always felt like Chrissy deserved better." Tamar Braxton posted a cryptic Instagram story with the words, "Stand tall, sis. Queens are not begging." Next came a blogger posted an unedited video purportedly taken in the same hotel lobby where the chaos began, showing Chrissy standing resolutely and refusing to back down while Jim yelled in her face. This was the third and most catastrophic leak of the day. "You will never be a member of this family," Mama Jones screamed. "I created this family. Without me, nothing remains to keep it together," Chrissy replied coolly. Fans said, "Chrissy, it's the winner in the court of public opinion, even if the film ended there due to the gasps of the onlookers." However, this is where the narrative took a turn for the worse. The same anonymous account that had previously leaked the recording published a 45-second voicemail at midnight in which Jim's tight, irate voice could be heard. "Why would you tell her? Why would you give her that?" The call ended suddenly with a click. Receipts. The word alone sent viewers into a frenzy. Did Chrissy have contracts, messages, pictures, or other evidence that could ruin Jim and Mama Jones? Do you know what she's capable of if she gets those receipts? How long until she dropped them, and was this the cause of their panic? By the next morning, rumors were rampant, with Twitter threads circulating hypotheses about secret bank accounts and children, and even VH1 producer cover-ups. Captions yelling, "She holds the power," were posted on TikTok alongside edits of Chrissy's life intercut with Jim's voicemail. The mayhem wasn't limited to the internet. Fans swear this was the notorious receipts folder Jim mentioned in the voicemail after paparazzi saw Chrissy leaving her Manhattan apartment with a hefty folder tucked under her arm. The pictures went viral right away. And is this the end of Jim Jones? Jim tried damage management by posting a lengthy statement on Instagram about the family business not being for the public, but it backfired. Websites flooded the image with headlines like "Chrissy's Folder of Doom." Mama Jones doubled down by sharing a vintage photo of herself and Jim with the statement, "Family first, outsiders never win," after fans deluged the comments accusing him of hiding, gaslighting, and controlling Chrissy for decades. That statement only increased the criticism. Chrissy was silent throughout it all. No posts, no lives, no comments, despite people accusing her of being envious of Chrissy and destroying their relationship out of spite. In this media storm, her silence was louder than anything she could have stated. However, the quiet was broken late that night when Chrissy posted a black screen with 3 words in white font that read, "Tomorrow it drops at precisely 11:59 p.m. Would Harlem's first couple ultimately fall apart under the weight of their own secrets when the clock struck tomorrow? What receipts had Jim and Mama Jones so scared of? What was she about to make public? The internet froze. Chrissy Lampkin's Instagram dropped at midday, and with it came a file that would rock Harlem, hip-hop and reality TV to its cores. There were no flashy pictures or words, just a single PDF stated "Truth hurts." In a matter of seconds, screenshots of the document proliferated online, revealing that it was no longer hearsay but also nuclear receipts, with the first page containing a bank statement that revealed questionable transfers from Jim Jones's account to what seemed to be fans focused on the transaction notes, consultancy, family services, and most incriminating of all, keep quiet, which were associated with shell businesses connected to Mama Jones. The sums varied from $5,000 to $25,000 and were funneled across 3 years, making it appear to the unaided eye that Jim had, while Chrissy was being shown on TV as the gold digger, he was surreptitiously using backdoor accounts to fund his mother's lifestyle. What was worse was page 2, which contained a transcript of a text chat between Jim texted, "We can't let Chrissy control the narrative. Jim and Mama Jones leaked in full. Don't worry, sweetie. I'll make sure VH1 is aware of the truth. She'll be the victim, not you." The words "villain" were underlined by fans and smeared throughout TikTok edits accompanied by menacing music. An hour later, hashtag Chrissy Villainy ass was trending all over the world. However, the internet was disrupted by the third page. Allegedly, Mama Jones and a VH1 producer exchanged emails. "Chrissy must be broken down. She is too strong to be greater than Jim," Mama wrote. With one scathing remark, Mama answered, "Drama sells. We'll push the narrative, but you'll fight back. Are you ready for that storm? I've been prepared." The fan base exploded. It was not only a marriage betrayal, it was polished. It was a generational issue. It was a systematic issue. Viewers believed Chrissy's on-screen difficulties to be reality TV dramas for years. They now appeared to have been created by network executives and members of her own family. Timelines showing how Chrissy had been set up season after season became viral on Twitter. Jim, however, wasn't going to take this lying down. One fan uploaded a montage with the headline, "They tried to break her, but she stood tall," racking up 3 million views in 2 hours. Chrissy went live on Instagram within 30 minutes of his post. His jaw was tightened, his cheeks taut, and his voice trembled with rage. "You guys have no idea what you're talking about. You guys have no idea what a family business is. Chrissy has been deceiving, controlling, and creating herself to resemble the victim. I constructed her. I gave her food. And I get this." His hand smacked against the table. "That isn't loyalty. Betrayal is what that is." The live stream was a complete mess. Clown emojis, snake emojis, and an infinite supply of standalone Chrissy flooded the screen as comments came in faster than Jim could read them. "That's fake," he said, evading fans' pleas for him to explain the documents. "The issue is that it's photoshopped." He never refuted the statements themselves. Never one to remain silent, Mama Jones also went live. She was sitting with papers at the kitchen table this time, strewn all over the place, saying they were evidence that Chrissy was a fake. "She never desired my son. She desired his money. She has never been related. Take a look at these bills. Examine these receipts. She is the issue." The so-called receipts, however, were nothing more than past due Macy's cards and old utility bills when viewers paused the video and panned in. Mama became popular for all the wrong reasons in a matter of minutes. Twitter was inundated with memes rather than Macy's bill receipts. The vicious Mama Jones gave us Kev's-length energy without any real substance, and Sis attempted to pay with Cole's money. It was brutal dragging. Celebrities began to pour in. Ma Remy Cardi B went live on TikTok and laughed while tweeting, "Funny how the truth always comes out in the end." Chrissy is no longer fooling with you guys. Even 50 Cent joined in with a meme of Jim saying, "PDF baby." Pinocchio captioned the modified image, "Somebody lying." However, the story continued to twist. The full lobby fight uncut is a new film that was uploaded to YouTube by an enigmatic account just hours after Chrissy's receipts were leaked. This 10-minute version was recorded using a bystander's phone. It displayed the full chain of events that led to the firestorm. Chrissy stood calmly but unyieldingly as Jim yelled and Mama Jones screamed. The culmination arrived. Chrissy retaliated when Jim said, "You think you can expose me? You think you can embarrass me? You don't know half of it." "Oh, I am fully aware of it, and the world will soon be as well." Before security hurried in, Jim lunged forward as the crowd gasped. "I know all of it." That statement became the night's catchphrase. Fans set it to music, looped it, and clipped it. Edits on TikTok appeared with Beyoncé's crown and Chrissy's face placed on it, along with text overlays that said, "Receipts are coming." Chrissy was nicknamed the First Lady of Survival in Harlem on Twitter. Jim's camp, however, was in disarray. His attorney issued a claim that the documents were malicious and fake, but fans didn't believe it. A few hours later, what looked to be a voicemail from Jim's boss was released by a blogger. "We have to go past this. If those additional files it's over, come on out. Turn it off. You must pay those you owe. Simply put, stop it." The connotation was obvious. They were even worse, and there were more receipts. After that, there were emotional outbursts. Mama Jones was seen by paparazzi outside a salon, sobbing into her phone. With remarks like, "The dragging finally hit Mama," the video went viral. Fans on Twitter, some said it hurt to see, while others made fun of her. Jim shared a picture of himself by himself in a dark studio and said, "Nobody knows my pain." The comments were harsh, "But we understand Chrissy's suffering. Bro, and the brutal pain is your brand now. Delete this." However, Chrissy doesn't say anything. Just silence, no lives, no comments, no posts, and her power increased in that silence. Supporters saw her forbearance as power. They declared her the winner more and more. Silence has been turned into a weapon by her. The greatest treachery, however, had not yet occurred. Harlem Truths, the same anonymous account that was created shortly after midnight, had been posting a teaser video and exposing everything. The audio was distorted and the screen was blank, but the words were clear. Jim's voice stating that she is unaware about the baby. It's over if she finds out. The video abruptly stopped. The internet took off. A baby? Was Jim concealing a kid? Was Mama Jones hiding something? Hysteria broke out among the fans. There were a ton of theories, timelines, names, and possible moms. An investigative series by TikTokers exposed all of the women Jim has been connected to over the previous 10 years. On Twitter, hashtags like #JimXExposed and #HiddenBaby went viral. The murmurs had become a cacophony by morning. Once more, the focus had turned from financial treachery to a possible clandestine family. Additionally, the one Chrissy was the one who hadn't spoken yet. Now, her stillness was more than just strength. It was a weapon. She cracked the smallest smile when reporters approached her outside a restaurant in New York and remarked, "Just for words, wait for the truth." Now, instead of just waiting for Chrissy to stand up, everyone on the internet went crazy as cameras flashed, fans screamed, and she detonated the last cultural earthquake was caused by the ex's whispers about the kid, and by mid-morning, every TikTok site, Twitter thread, and gossip blog was centered around the same question: did Jim Jones secretly father a child? Fans relentlessly criticized Jim as Chrissy stood by his side for 20 years, but Mother Jones received equally as much criticism for allegedly concealing her son's double life. The hashtags were vicious. #HiddenBaby, #Mother knew the storm really started when Harlem Truths, the anonymous account responsible for all the leaks, sent what they called the folder of finality, a 10-minute video that was posted to YouTube with the title "Proof He Lied." It started with screenshots of hospital forms that had Jim Jones listed as the emergency contact. The names were deleted and the forms were obfuscated for a child born in 2019, but viewers soon saw that the signature at the bottom matched other confirmed paperwork Jim had previously signed. Then came the shocking video, a grainy video clip of Jim in the living room, shirtless, holding a toddler. His muttered words, "Daddy loves you," were so quiet they were nearly unidentifiable. He could show tenderness to a secret child, but never give Chrissy a hug. The clip stopped suddenly, but it was enough. And Twitter crashed. Ring, after a fan's post received 500,000 likes. Mama Jones went live in a panic and yelled at the camera, "That baby ain't got nothing to do. Take care of each other. It's a family company. Keep out of it, you guys." But fans only grew more furious. Her comments are filled with accusations of enabling jealousy and betrayal. One commenter wrote, You sacrificed Chrissy to protect your son. As a mother, you failed." Mama's voice cracked and her tears flowed as she broke down in midlife. "I only wanted the best for my son. The grief is incomprehensible to you all." Jim Cornard finally replied with a mysterious Instagram remark that said, "Not everything you see is what it looks like," after she slammed the phone down, cutting off the broadcast in a flurry of weeping. His remarks, "Don't let lies twist love," only served to stoke the fires. Within hours, followers discovered images of the child's mother, a lady who was allegedly with Jim on a vacation to Miami years ago, and screenshots of old Dims reappeared, revealing a damning timeline. Poured in, Jim in a baby carrier with the comment, "Certified City Boy." Chrissy, unfazed, broke her silence on Instagram Live that evening, her face composed but her voice steady with rage. "I stood next to a man who was incapable of standing next to me for 20 years. I was told to play my part and experienced humiliation, manipulation, and disrespect. Now that the truth is out, they want to call it family business, but it's actually public business." Twitter hailed her after they made it public the day they dragged me on national television. Her remarks struck a chord, and fans immediately rallied. TikTok was inundated with edits of Chrissy's speech paired to celebratory music. Chrissy converted anguish into power. While Mama and Jim played checkers, Chrissy played chess. The comment sections were flooded with appreciation. "This is how you regain your power," Chrissy said. Harlem Truths revealed one final piece of evidence shortly after Chrissy's live performance ended, a covert audio of a phone conversation between Jim and Mama Jones, in which Jim's voice was low and terrified. Mama's voice trailed off, "I told you not to play with fire, and now it's burning us all. Ma, if she releases the DNA test, it's over for me. For us, we can't let it drop." Fans braced themselves, and then it happened. Was there a real paternity test that verified Jim's secret child? And if so, how had Chrissy obtained it? The internet was like shrapnel. Uploaded a single picture of a folded legal envelope with the words "DNA results" printed on the front to Instagram. There was no explanation or caption, just the envelope, and the post received 1 million likes in a matter of minutes. The internet went into pandemonium. She promised to put a stop to this man's career. "Chrissy is currently holding Harlem hostage," one admirer wrote. "The suspense was unbearable," another person wrote. In the meanwhile, celebrity Cardi B went live and yelled, "I've been told y'all Jim was shady," as if it were the Super Bowl. "Chrissy is a queen." Simply said, Remy Ma tweeted, "She stood tall." Specifically, 50 Cent, who reposted the DNA envelope with the remark, "Told you," had been making fun of Jim for years. The streets don't stop talking. Chrissy finally dropped the hammer the following morning and uploaded the entire report. There was no questioning it now, and the internet descended into chaos after the test verified that Jim Jones was the father of a 4-year-old child. The paper was watermarked, signed, and stamped. Jim edited into Maury's notorious stage with the lines, "You are the father," as hashtag shifting to hashtag Chrissy1 and hashtag D-Not-Confirmed. Memes flooded in, showing Chrissy clutching a crown. Jim was continuously dragged by fans who referred to him as the ultimate VH1 execs worried behind the scenes, reportedly arguing Mama Jones's role as a manipulator who was revealed by the exact woman he underestimated. Fans blasted her for allowing and shielding lies for years. To avoid adding fuel to the fire, replays of Jim and Chrissy's previous programs were pulled. According to one producer, Chrissy is now the hero, Jim, the antagonist. "The brand will fail if we broadcast this incorrectly." Jim disappeared, his Instagram went dark, and his comments were filled with hate and mockery, forcing him to remain silent. The scandal had shifted from rumors to franchise survival. Then came the dramatic conclusion, when Chrissy, standing outside her apartment with supporters cheering, finally addressed the chaos one last time after he was eventually seen exiting a Harlem studio, hoodie low, and refusing to answer questions while fans jeered across the street, chanting "DNA don't lie." Her voice was unmistakable, powerful, and clear. "I was muted and dragged for too long, but today I stand tall because the truth is louder than lies." The story ended, the cameras flashed, the audience screamed, and she lifted her chin, grinned, and left, not just for me but for all women who were encouraged to play small. Chrissy had gone from victim to conqueror, her strength immortalized in hashtags, edits, and think pieces. Mama Jones and Chrissy, once impenetrable pillars of Harlem renown, were now branded as manipulators exposed by their own arrogance. As the dust settled, Harlem Truth sent out one last cryptic tweet, "The folder isn't empty." This was just chapter 1. The internet declared her the victor of a battle she never requested but fought with honor. And there you have it, the lies were exposed, the DNA receipts fell, and Chrissy left with her crown in hand. The story wasn't over yet. It was just beginning. Don't assume for a moment that this story is finished though, as Harlem Truths hinted that this was only chapter 1 and Jim and Mama Jones were buried beneath the debris of their own machinations. Might ruin reputations and completely turn around a fan following in a single day. Just think about what's still in that folder: the emails, the recordings, the potential betrayals, and that's where you come in. Before the next shocking revelation comes, hit the like button, leave your thoughts in the comments section, and subscribe. You're not just an audience member, you're a part of the movement. It will transform the entire culture of hip-hop and love, not just the internet. Don't be the person scanning through Twitter. Don't wait till the popular hashtags pass you by, wondering how you missed the largest year's receipts. The subsequent leak might fall at any time. Additionally, ERUPT will be left here, not locked in the dust, while everyone else already is aware of the reality. Thus, please like, comment, and hit the subscribe button with a slam, because this storm is barely getting started. And have faith you don't want to be outside of me, observing when the subsequent wave occurs. Observing when the subsequent wave occurs.